So, welcome to Gianfranco Brusaporci, who is the author of one of our journal's articles. He's looking at European citizenship and youth among Bulgarians, and he's looking at both Bulgarian majority population and the Turkish minority. What is your main finding in regard to the acceptance of European citizenship among Bulgarians in your article?
Yeah, I asked to myself for this research two main questions. The first one was the perception of young Bulgarians to the broad, in general, European citizenship concept, and the second was exactly on the perception that this concept can have in terms of the relation between the majority of young Bulgarians and the minority, the Turkish community living in Bulgaria. And considering the first research question, I would say that it's quite large, the positive perception of young people involving both communities, in this case, so the majority and the minority community, in terms of this innovative concept of citizenship. By the way, considering the second research question, there is the relevance of one of the variables that I used in my model, the ethnic self-identification, which is relevant in terms of the final results. So it's not relevant for the first research question, but it's relevant in the second one.
Mm-hmm. So, what does because you're also arguing that this kind of European citizenship is underused, or that although there's a positive association with it, it's not using its full potential in many ways. Can you maybe tell us a little bit more what you mean by that?
Yeah, basically I studied the concept of European citizenship through its main fundamental crucial elements, so rights, identity and participation. And looking at the three elements of citizenship, I can say that the main point of this innovation is the incremental approach of the European citizenship that we have time to time from all of the three elements. What it's important to say, considering even the different scholars that have studied this topic, is that there is no one demos, but we have different demoi. So the relevance of the European citizenship is the fact that it's focused on diversity and multiculturalism. Contrary to the normal concept of citizenship, which is focused on equality and exclusivity. So there is a clear barrier in terms of we are part of the community, they are not part of the community, but within the European Union there is an innovation on the concept of, in particular in the element of identity, where there is a new approach in terms of inclusion and not anymore of exclusion. That's why I think that in the concept of European citizenship, there is an underestimated concept in terms of multiculturalism, tolerance, minority rights, and relation between different communities, even within a country. That's why I asked to myself this second research question.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more what that means in regard to your findings and your interviews you've conducted about interethnic relations. I mean, how would you characterize interethnic relations between young Turks in Bulgaria and young majority Bulgarians? And in which way is that European citizenship roof useful for the two communities?
Okay, there are some differences. In a broader way, for both of these communities, we can say that the European citizenship roofed the Bulgarian citizenship in a positive way due to the fact that they tend to be more protect. This is what I said basically. So, for example, the fact that there is another level in terms of court, it's something that protect themselves in terms of legal framework. Also, I found interesting the fact that they have this relevance in terms of free movement, probably considering the past of the country, the possibility to study abroad and to travel in Europe, even if we have to underline the fact that Bulgarian is still not part of Schengen community. They are really pro-Europe in these terms, in these rights that they gain through the European community. For Turkish, it's more, it's very linked to these rights they got through the European citizenship, but they are less, let's say, focused on the main goals, the main ideas of EU. They just, let's say, used probably more the opportunities of this community, of this EU.
Mm-hmm. How does that, I mean, how does this then link the two communities together? I mean, Turks and Bulgarians within Bulgaria. Do you see this European citizenship having any transformative effect on the relations between the two? Because what you were telling us now is very much about both communities' relation to the higher level, but not so much to each other.
Yeah, let's say that it really depends in this case on the participation that young people have in terms of political participation or civic engagement in the political life of the country, even within Bulgaria. And it's really important to underline the fact that young Bulgarians in general, for both communities, are not linked to the political life in Bulgaria. So in some cases that I analyzed, some young Bulgarians and some Turks of Bulgarian that were really active in terms of political life and with different civic engagement, they have also this, let's say, a better approach in terms of multiculturalism, because of course they tend to have even a different view within the European framework, in the country and outside the country. Considering the other cases, that the majority of the cases that are not engaged at all, or in few activities in terms of political life and civic activities, they are basically living on their daily life without this kind of interest. And the lack of participation, political participation and civic participation of these people, of these young people, it's very linked to their concept, their vision, considering the relation with the other communities in the countries.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gianfranco. I think your article shed some interesting light on European citizenship and how it spreads out, or the limit of its spread, but also the opportunities it offers to a country which is in many ways perceived to be quite peripheral to the European Union project, and communities which are, but which I think shows some interesting directions for also further research. So thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.